So going into closing, I mean, you're a podcaster. I like to give everyone an opportunity that's whether a podcaster or not to run the Boston Cage podcast and opportunity to ask me a couple of questions. So the show is yours. What questions do you have for me?
Oh man, SA, how do you make time for all of your creativity? You are just exploding with creativity. I would love to hear. They got the shoe line, the notebooks. You are like when you're on a mission, you go. I want to hear about that.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's the post polarity of having a stroke and trying to figure out how can I be so explosive but with one streamlined vision. And that's why I think for me, being a brand and growth strategist is the only way to define me because, to your point, the shoes and the books to me, only thing I see is growth strategy. Only thing I see is one thing. I see the Boston Cage brand. I see the notebooks being a growth strategy tool to help someone on their journey. And then I see the marketing strategy for wearing the shoes that represent the actual book. I can visually see John sitting down at a coffee bar with my notebook in his hand, potentially wearing a Boston Cage hat and rocking a pair of orange sneakers. That's the story that I tell. So when I'm delivering that, I have to create that entire vision because I'm 2, 3 years out. So by the time people catch up to me, then it'll make sense. But in reality, I have to create this content and create this vision to make the reality become real.
Yeah, I remember when you launched the shoes and I went and looked on the website, you have the counter on. It's like you had literally just launched like within hours and it was like 65 people have bought these, 100 people have bought these ones. I'm like, that is some amazing like immediate you've got the audience, you've got the brand, like it's so clear, right? And it's everything is so you. And I yeah, you are certainly iconic.
Well, I definitely appreciate it. And it's just kind of just living up to like what brands should be. And it was like when I look at the hierarchy of brands, that's part of the equation, right? If you're going to be a personal brand, like the definition of that four-letter word of being iconic, that's the only thing you can be in the period of time that you have. Because once you're dead and gone, you're not going to have the opportunity to go back and change anything. So do everything you can. And to your point, I love the fact that not only are you a trendsetter, but you analyze trends. So for you, like your shorts, like that's I can tell from a strategy standpoint, like that's your bread and butter right now. You're creating shorts, like so regular is ridiculous that the algorithms are probably just giving you whatever you want at this point.
I do hear that pretty often. Like you somehow you've hacked my algorithm. I hear that a lot. Like every time I open up my app, you're right there. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, all about content.